The Spurs are having an incredible season. But is it enough for Mitch Johnson to win the Coach of the Year? And let's preview this weekend's Spurs-Bucks game. Welcome back to Spurs in Focus right here on YouTube, also on Substack, iTunes, Spotify, Pocket Cast. Pick a platform, Spurs in Focus is there. We thank y'all for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Keep on coming here, subscribing wherever you can. Again, gave you all the platforms. Do it now. I would definitely appreciate it. What are we talking about today? We're going to be, well, if you're watching on YouTube, you can definitely see it on your screen right there. Is Mitch Johnson going to win the NBA Coach of the Year? Spurs have an incredible season. The record reflects that. The winning streaks reflect that. There's so many points / arguments to say that he is. And also, we're going to preview this weekend's Spurs-Bucks game. It's tomorrow afternoon. Heads up, everybody, in Milwaukee. He's going to bring in our guest. He is Mr. James Pledger, the very handsome-looking, dapper-looking Mr. James Pledger with San Antonio Sports Star. He's on next at I Am Pledger. Check out the star. We're going to brag about that in just a few minutes, man. James, what's the occasion? I didn't get the memo.
Oh, I was coming on with you, so I had to.
That's what it was. I knew it. Also, by the way, everybody, he is also the host of Extra Innings on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He'll brag about that as well later on that show. What you got there? Oh, he's activated the energy source there.
Yep.
You're not gonna throw a unibeam on me, are you?
A little arc reactor tie clip.
Yeah, I'm assuming you're not gonna shoot a unibeam at me, right? I'm good.
I don't know. Depends where this goes.
Yeah. Oh, good luck. Yeah. By the way, every time I think unibeam, I think how we just smoked Bucky in that fight, man.
Oh man,
God.
Bunch of things. It was Bucky. It blew up the core, the vibranium core, and Age of Ultron. Like unibeam was.
That's not to be messed with. That is not to be exactly. We're gonna have our nerd segment later, everybody. So we're not jumping ahead, but let's go and dive into it. So, James, in recent weeks, everybody's talking about MVP Wemby, Defensive Player of the Year Wemby, Steph Castle, all defensive team. The list goes on. KJ, Sixth Man of the Year, but kind of getting lost in the shuffle is Mitch Johnson and his chances, arguments why he should be the new NBA Coach of the Year. There's some pros, there's some cons. James, where do you stand on this? Has he done enough to gain that vote and win it?
I mean, if you look at Coach of the Year, it's usually a team that goes from really bad to really good. And box checked. They're now just 2 games back of the Thunder in the Western Conference standings for first. And I believe right there at the number 1 overall seed in the NBA as well, too. So, I mean, Another check. I mean, he is technically a rookie head coach, so he's doing this in his first year. Check, because last year those were pops. Now, he did relinquish those to him at the end of the season. But, I mean, technically, this is his first full year as the head coach of the San Antonio Spurs. He was an interim basis last year. So that's another check in his box. I mean, he's done incredible things with a roster that is very similar to what finished so poorly last year. Only a few tweaks when you talk about adding a Luke Cornett and even Lindy Waters or Kelly Olynyk, people that aren't making that big of a difference. So it's not like there was this massive roster overhaul either on this team. The only difference is they got Wemby healthy for a full season and Fox for a which he didn't have Fox for most of last year, as that was a trade that came in. And then obviously Wemby with the blood clot, but I mean, he did have Wemby for the first part of the year and they weren't doing this. So what's changed?
Right. Here's the thing too. You want to throw more checks on the boxes here. He was named Western Conference Coach of the Month this season.
Sure.
Coach of the NBA All-Star West, Team USA squad. He's guided this team to, and I think this doesn't get enough attention. The longest losing skid they had this season is 2, James.
Yep.
2.
They
That's
have
it.
not lost more than 2 all year.
All year.
Sure.
That is just freaking awesome. And here's the thing, too. Even when the team was out, their main weapon, their unibeam, Victor Wembanyama, for a while, Spurs were
Continue to win.
They continue to win. Why? Because that
Well,
guy,
remember at the
Mitch
beginning
Johnson,
of the season too, De'Aaron Fox missed a good
yeah.
chunk of it, and that's when they got their 6-2, 8-2 start. And so, like, they've been, and it's not just those two. I mean, they were without Fox for periods of the season. They were without Wemby for periods of the season. They've been without Castle for parts of the season. Like, he has been piecing and parting this a lot this year.
Yes.
It hasn't been a fully healthy roster for the entire season either.
Here's the other thing, too. He has this team ahead of schedule. Heading to the season, many figured this team was kind of a 40-ish win team. That's it. And here they are knocking on 60 wins. I mean, it is close. They can still do that. So that is also another testament to him for rallying the troops, getting them focused. And one thing I think that also doesn't get enough attention is his demeanor. If the Spurs smoke a team, they get curb stomped, they barely win or they barely lose, he's the same guy on that podium after games. He doesn't get too high. He doesn't get too low. And I think that's exactly the calming effect you need for a young team with a young core that's about to sniff the playoffs for the first time. Now, Vegas has him around a plus 900 to about 1,000, plus 1,000 to win it. Right now, they have the favorite as JB Bickerstaff with the Pistons to get it. But, I mean, he is a strong candidate. Dare I say, James, this might be one of the closest Coach of the Year votes we've seen in a while.
It should be, because you mentioned JB Bickerstaff, and the Pistons have taken a similar jump to the Spurs this year in the Eastern Conference. I mean, they've gone from one of the worst teams to first. And then you also add the fact that I think you should consider probably Mike Brown in the conversation for what he's doing with the Knicks.
Yeah.
And who I think would be his toughest challenge, it's probably Boston, just because of what they've done. Like, they weren't much like the Spurs, who were expected to be a play-in towards bottom of the Western Conference in terms of the playoff seeding, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that range. That's about what the Celtics were predicted to be without Jason Tatum this year. So, like, I do believe Joe Mazzulla has an excellent case to also be in consideration for Coach of the Year. And if I'm going with my top two finalists, it's probably Mazzulla and Mitch Johnson. No disrespect to what JB Bickerstaff has done in Detroit, but I just think that it's especially the fact that Mazzulla's doing it without an MVP candidate. You can argue Cade's been in the MVP race. Wemby's definitely been in the MVP race, Defensive Player of the Year race. Like, those things help elevate ships. Mazzulla's doing it with a bunch of other guys. And, of course, Jaylen Brown's a monster. He is a supermax guy for a reason, but nobody expected him to be able to carry this team to what they've been able to do, including them helping the Spurs by beating the Thunder the other day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Boston, for that. Does the narrative change if he guides this team to the top record in the West / NBA? There's still a shot for that.
I don't know if the narrative changes, because I still think he's firmly in the Coach of the Year race, but I think the odds shift very much towards his favor, more so than they are right now, being plus 900, plus 1,000. Yeah. I think you could see them tick up to under plus 500 if he gets up into the top of the Western Conference standings.
Yeah, well, Vegas definitely has Bickerstaff right now as the strongest favorite right now to win it. But you're right. And I think that's what's probably going to kind of push back on Mitch getting the award, is that there's other quality coaches earning it. And here's the thing. They're veteran coaches. Mitch is a first-year guy. I think
hopefully should be taking his favor, I would think.
Right, yeah. I you read my mind here. I was going to go with that. I think that should help him. Like, hey, look what he's done in this first year. My God, what a damn good coach. But it's rare for that to happen. Not say it can't happen, but it's
I mean,
rare.
it's a lot like assuming, well, Tim Duncan's one of the best defenders in the league every year. Yet somehow he never magically won a defensive player of the year because everybody was like, he's going to win plenty. He's going to win plenty, which is why you don't vote based on future potentials or whatever it may be. I get very mad at voting systems in the NBA, whether we were here, my Wemby's rookie year, talking about, I was campaigning for Vic as defensive player of the year because, like, yeah, Rudy Gobert is great, but he's a liability in some games and you have to take him off the court. I don't care that he's a rookie. It's not the best defensive player in the NBA that's not a rookie. It's the NBA's defensive player of the year, period. End of state. Like, it doesn't matter that he's a rookie. MVP shouldn't matter if you're a rookie or if you're new to the conversation or you have to prove it for a couple of years. No, it's of the year. And so I have there are these perceptions and biases and things that come up when you vote for these postseason awards that they shouldn't even come into the conversation because that's not what the conversation's supposed to be about. It's not about the best guy that's never won it. No, if the best guy's won it 3 years in a row and he's the best guy in his fourth year, give it to him his fourth year too. Just because you're tired of voting for him doesn't mean he's still not the best player in the league. Like, these are it happened with Jordan a lot during the 90s where people just got sick of voting for him and wanted to see something new, but like, it shouldn't dampen the fact that he was still the best player in the league during that time and playing as such every year. Give him the award. Give Wemby the award. Give a rookie the award if they're that good. I don't care one way or the other about these made up fallacies of the rules that you're trying to alter to an award that should be strictly based on its merit of the year for the NBA, period. End of statement.
Yeah, I can even say that to Coach Popovich when he was doing his thing on the sidelines. Coach, he had best record left and right.
He's the best coach in the game.
Let's say his game, and yet I think he only won it like twice. I believe that was it.
Exactly.
That just never made sense. But going back to Mitch, he's a strong candidate. There's no doubt about that. There's minimal cons to the argument why he should get it. Minimal. It's hard for me to even think of one like right now on the fly. I can't. I really can't. That's how strong of a candidate is. I think he finishes top 3 in the voting. Ultimately, I don't think he gets it though. I think this probably land with Missoula or JB. I think that's where he land.
I do think Missoula ended well for him among the voters just because of how well San Antonio has played. They're 23-2 over the last 25 games. I mean, they
perfect February too.
Continue to keep winning. They had a perfect February. Like, he's just been on a tear, and it seems like the team is getting better.
Yeah, it is
at each turn, and as the season progresses, and as we get closer to the postseason, and I think the better they play towards the end of the season, the harder it's going to be to keep his name out of the conversation.
Absolutely. Same thing for Wemby for MVP. I mean, the way he's playing right now to wrap up the season.
Well, I mean, MVP, it's the best player in the league. And as far as I'm concerned, or as I've been told recently, that encompasses both sides of the court. Exactly. Offensive and defensive. He's kind of really good at both.
But hey, you know what? The Spurs are having a phenomenal season. If Mitch comes up short, not a problem. Why? Because I think he probably has a few of those awards ahead of him if he keeps this up in San Antonio. James, I don't know. Where do you land on it? Does he walk away with the coach of the year or probably not?
If I'm laying today, especially with the odds are, I would, just because I think they're going to play extremely well here down the stretch and really give Oklahoma City a run for that number 1 seed, especially when you look at the Spurs' upcoming schedule versus Oklahoma City's upcoming schedule. And I think that gives them a chance to crack that door open, and will give Mitch a chance to kind of walk through in the voters' eyes.
Yeah, I mean, that guy you see on your screen, everybody, Mitch Johnson, man, what a phenomenal job. Round of applause. He had some doubters coming into his first full season as the head coach, not interim. Why? Because remember, everybody, there were names out there: Mike Malone, Taylor Jenkins, Becky Hammond. It was out there. They who's this guy? An Austin Spurs coach and assistant. What? And look, it's kind of almost like the mantra of the season. You doubt the Spurs, they prove you wrong. You doubt Mitch, he proves everybody wrong. Hey, what do y'all think about Mitch's chances for Coach of the Year? Let James know on X at I am Pledger. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone, or leave a comment on the YouTube page here at Spurs in Focus. We'd love to read them at a future episode here. James, you want to preview tomorrow's game, Spurs-Bucks?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go to preview tomorrow's, I should say, Spurs-Bucks game, which is in the day, everybody. In the day. Also, if you want to go celebrate or watch the game, go to the Frost Plaza out there at the Rock. There's a watch.
Ohio Southwest Division Championship T-shirt.
Yeah, get that also as well. The last watch party of the regular season, so don't want to miss out that. All right, let's look at the tail of the tape here, Pledger. And there you have it. There, see on your screen there. Yeah, Spurs should cruise. I should based on this.
Preview over.
Preview over, everybody. I mean, just look at those numbers there. I mean, just staggering. Heavy to the Spurs side. All right, let's get James in the.
Well, I mean, it's also twofold on it, right? You've got the Spurs who are actively pushing, trying to get the number 1 seed, catch Oklahoma City, versus the Bucks, who there's a lot going on in that organization that
just a little bit.
I mean, wanting to shut Giannis down because obviously they have an ulterior motive and agenda behind wanting to do that, and Giannis campaigning to play and not wanting to be shut down, and the NBA PA getting them drug into like this. This is getting uglier and uglier, and it's really seeming like they're heading for a divorce this offseason.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Bucks, you want to up your draft odds? Why did you lose this game? Yeah, that's a little silver lining on a dark cloud of the season for you Milwaukee Bucks. But look at some of the numbers. Yeah, Spurs should get the W if stats don't lie. Also wrap up the 3-game roadie at 3-0. Hopefully that'll happen. I mean, it's just staggering. Look at your screen, everybody. Opponent field goal percentage, Spurs 4th in the NBA, Bucks 16. I mean, the list goes on and on. Points per game for Spurs. Opponents points per. I mean, Spurs, you know where we're going, right? Should be a win. Should be a win for San Antonio. I think as of this show right now, I don't think Giannis is playing. So that kind of puts a damper on things. But
they're trying to shut him down, so I wouldn't expect him to play, because guess who controls whether he can even get on the court or not, despite whether he thinks he's healthy.
Yeah. Hey, this is the last meeting of the season between the Bucks and the Spurs. The Spurs are 1-0 versus Milwaukee, but the Spurs have lost 3 games straight in the Bucks gym, so keep that in mind. Hey, while we're on the topic of Bucks, Giannis, now that the dust is settled, we see what this team is looking at right now, San Antonio, that is. Should the Spurs still make a run at Giannis?
No. I didn't want to make a run before this season. The Spurs team is a very, very good team. And even if you wanted to tweak some things about the Spurs, that's not the thing I want to tweak.
Yeah. No, they still need
adding a 3-and-D wing is the one thing that, whether it's a 3, a 4, a 2, like whatever it is, I want that efficiency from outside.
Yeah.
And my good God, especially when you look at the Spurs and the way they've played as of late. Like, I retweeted something last night, and I noticed it when I was at the Rockets game earlier this year too, and a couple of the ball movement is just pristine.
Yes,
and it is the closest thing I've seen to 2014 since 2014, and it is probably as good as that, and probably right in line with what during the Golden State Warriors kind of heyday, Stephen was going off and doing Steph things, but they had great ball movement as well to get those open shots that weren't Steph Curry. And the Spurs, their ability to see the next pass before it happens has just been second to none right now. And that is a dangerous thing if you're heading into the playoffs, the way they are moving the ball, making teams rotate and over rotate and commit to get to that extra guy. And it is absolutely majestic to watch. Like, you could talk about the dunks and the Wemby and all this other stuff. That ball movement, like the way they move the ball at times, is something that gets me giddy.
Yeah. What's that old phrase Pop used to do? Best to great.
To better, better to best.
Yeah, all that stuff. Yeah, they're doing it this year. Yeah, and I was some of the I just said about this way: the organization is very thrilled right now. Not necessarily just for this season, of course, it's exciting, but was told that they're more thrilled for the long term. Just
aren't you always thrilled when right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
they need Paris, whatever for everybody.
Saying they were wrong and needed to go get somebody and like get a big free agent, or go get, in my case, Markkanen, or in other people's cases, Giannis, or whoever it may be, to like
trade Murphy the third,
whatever it may be. And I wouldn't be opposed to that still.
Yeah,
but
I think they're still on the table for me.
But like that, everybody was screaming this at the top of their lungs all the way up to and past the trade deadline. And all they have done since that is just win and win and win and win. And it is proving the front office right in what they've seen through their own development in at practice, and what they've thought of these players and this team. And it is confirmation bias to their own eyes. And of course, you're always happy when what you thought, which was counter to what everybody else thought, is proven absolutely right.
One of the things that stands out for me about this squad, too, is the sacrifices the players have made. Let's start off with the big one, Keldon Johnson. He went from being the quasi-face of the franchise before Wemby to starter, to now being the sixth man and seeing minutes reduced and touches reduced. And the sacrifice
was very, very hard. And you've heard me very hard on Devin Vassell and his fit with the Spurs. And the role he's taken this year has been phenomenal. And I think it was the other night after the win against the Heat, Dylan Harper was talking about, he's always been the dude everywhere he's been. And he talked about taking on the lesser role and how happy he is. And it's like, as long as we're winning, like, that's all that matters. Like, that's, that talks about what they're doing and how they're doing it, and the mindset that is taking hold within the entirety of the team. It's not one person sacrificing, it's everyone sacrificing. And that includes Wemby, because let's face it, he could do what he did against the Lakers that one day when they rolled out a high school basketball team against him, where he put up 40 in the first half. And he could do that on a night in, night out basis if he ever wanted to. And he's content with 19, 20, 25, 15. He's okay with that, as long as the team is winning and it all leads to success. And it has.
We saw recently Keldon Johnson and Dylan Harper be the leading scorers for the team in a win. And while Wemby had under 20 points. So that just to him. Another thing you cannot ignore is even the sacrifice that De'Aaron Fox had made. If you look at earlier in the season, he gave up a lot of the touches. He gave up a lot of maybe his time to let Castle and Harper get their groove going. Let them, if you just go back and look at the numbers, how much more ball dominant Castle was in the start of the season until he is now. And I think that's also a testament to Fox.
And look at the dividends it's paid.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Well, that was some preview for tomorrow's game. That was awesome. Spurs should wreck shop versus Milwaukee. Cross your fingers that happens. Going 3-0 in this mini road trip. We need to hear what y'all think about tomorrow's game. Who do you got? Let James know on X at I Am Pledger. Let me know on X at Jeff G Spurs Zone. James, you want to have a nerd moment?
Yeah, let's do it.
Nerd! Yeah, I knew you were going to love that. I knew it. I said, James hasn't seen that one yet. I can't wait to get his reaction. Thumbs up or thumbs down? Thumbs up. All right. James, I recently shared with you video generated by AI, but it got me thinking about this battle here. Arnie's T-1000 model Terminator versus the Predator, hand-to-hand combat, no tech weapons used. How do you see that fight going down, and who do you got?
I mean, let's face it, it becomes a draw, probably, because if the Predator is losing,
Yeah.
he's just gonna nuke everything.
Yep.
Like at worst, and so
right, yeah.
So I lean towards the Predator just because of the tech and his mobility, agility, et cetera. Like, it's very hard. Yes, the T-1000's but let's face it, it's an old, outdated relic. They've come out with better models of Terminators in iterations past. And so, I mean, that's great. I'm more excited about what I'm seeing out of what's coming on the Darth Maul Shadow Lord. Like, that looks incredible.
Did you see that clip and how just? I mean, they're showing him use his double-edged saber in a freaking terrifying way.
It's awesome. Like, that looks like it's going to be fantastic, and I can't wait to jump in on the start of Daredevil season 2.
Yep,
like,
exactly.
Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk or Vincent D'Onofrio as Wilson Fisk. They embody those roles so well, and you just get such great dramatic.
Yeah.
And it's not even just the fight scenes. I'm just talking about the overall line delivery.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good. It is so good.
If y'all want to see some great dialogue between the Punisher and Daredevil, or Red, as Punisher calls him, they'll look at that first time they meet on the rooftop and that back and forth they had regarding how to handle
Netflix Daredevil season 2.
That is just some chef's kiss there.
Not just that one. The one where Charlie Cox goes and finds the Punisher in Daredevil Born Again season 1, and that was another really, really epic dialogue they had between the two of them right there, and it gets you. You feel it.
Hey, Pleasure, before I let you go, you excited for Man Spider?
I don't know if they're gonna fully adapt that. That may be something they're having. Yeah, they might. I don't like it. There are a lot of allusions to it in the trailer, but I don't know if they're going to go that far with his mutation or not.
It kind of makes sense though, because the more mutants are going to be introduced.
Sure.
He's dealing with
mutation. I get the sense it makes, but I just don't know if they're going to go there.
When I first saw the trailer for the new Spider-Man movie coming out, I thought they were introducing the symbiote, because they show that X-ray scan and he's all black, and then his eyes turn black. I said, okay, that makes sense because Secret Wars is around the corner. But no, I think they're gonna go Man Spider, because in the trailer, one of the medical doctors goes, "Well, actually, no, not the. It was a scene where you see the screen. It says strength has increased, ability has increased, or something like that." So, either way, should be great nerd times ahead for me, James Pleasure, and the rest of the nerds.
Very good nerd.
He is Mr. James Pleasure with San Antonio Sports Star 94.1 and on YouTube. James, you got extra innings. You got the blitz. You got the morning crew. I mean, tell us what's going on there, man.
Man, it's fun. Spurs being good obviously makes things exciting this time of year. Of course, we're encroaching on the Final Four and the NCAA championship coming up. So there's that. The NFL draft is right around the corner, and everybody's doing their pro days, and we're trying to wonder, is the Cowboys keeping their 2 picks? Are they getting rid of one of them? What are they going to do? Are they going to move up, move back? It's the Texans' new revamped offensive line and everything that's going there. Is that going to be enough to get CJ Stroud back to rookie year CJ Stroud? Like, there is a lot going on. You got the Masters right around the corner. Tiger could potentially play, which is always great when Tiger's playing. So, like, there is a lot. And then we've got our San Antonio Sports Star spring golf tournament coming up on Monday. So, like, it's full steam ahead right now.
Do not let James sucker you, everybody, on the greens. Do not.
What?
No.
Not let James sucker you on the greens.
What?
Don't do. Oh, who wants to do a little friendly wager and then you fall through?
Just throw a couple bucks on it. Fine.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Don't everybody. I warned you now. And if you want to team up with somebody, that's the man you want to team up with. Trust me. I know what I'm telling you. Trust me. You want to team up with him. I give you a hint. You want to go to 94?
I got to play in some competitive golf this past weekend. It was really cool. We did a Viger Cup thing. So it was a lot of fun. It was good to get the actual competitive juices flowing again.
How hype were you, man?
I was super hyped. I was bummed after day one.
Were you like Happy Gilmore smashing?
I wouldn't go into hole and won, and I should have won both of those first matches in both scramble and best ball. But I came back and destroyed in singles. So did the rest of our team in singles. I closed them out on hole 14.
Let's close them
13.
Don't say I warned you, everybody, if you sign up, because I know you're going to sign up. But just go to 94.1, their website. Just Google it. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. There you go. Go sign up right now. Have yourself a good time on the greens with Pledger. The rest of the crew over there at the Star. Pledger, thank you so much for joining us here on Spurs in Focus. We appreciate it. Be sure to follow on X, everybody, at I Am Pledger. Everybody, that's a wrap right here on Spurs in Focus. We thank y'all for making Spurs in Focus your first and only spot for all things silver and black. We'll be back on Monday as the Spurs season winds down. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. We're now on iTunes, Spotify. What else you got there? Pocket Cast. The list goes on and on. Go subscribe ASAP. Oh, yeah. YouTube podcast. That's the other one. So go subscribe. No reason for you to miss out on an episode here at Spurs in Focus. So for Mr. James Pledger, I am Jeff Garcia. Now you're in focus with Spurs in Focus.